What's going on, everybody? Jean-Luc94 here. Welcome back to Sci-Fi Wednesdays. It has been a while, guys. It's been a couple of months since we've had a video up here for you guys to watch. We're back with the Enterprise E, and I've been working very hard off camera. Let me go ahead and run you through the process. Last episode, we worked on the basic color, silver gray by Vallejo, and we started with our Tamiya masking tape and creating our own aztecing masks for the Enterprise. And I've been painstakingly working on that since then. We are done though with phase one. And what I did is I basically just took section by section here. I worked all the way around the edge of the rim, moved into the next band, then into the next band, and then finally hit the engineering hull, shuttle bay, rear cargo bay, and we have a completed phase one of masking. Now it has been a while here on the bench, and I really like how this looks. I think all the time I've taken so far really has given this a really cool look. Let me zoom in for you and let me walk you through my overall process. So as you can see here on the saucer section, we have distinct patterns. We have the outer rim, we have the inner, band, and we have the upper band as well. As you can see around the edge of the saucer, we have very densely packed aztecing. Around the bridge area, we have a little looser aztecing. And then finally here, we have aztecing with a lot of space in between. Those will be different colors once we actually get to the point. Now the bottom section as well, we have the outer rim, we have the inner band here, and then we have the very top band. And all of these are, again, similar, but just different enough to give some interest. Engineering hull is the same deal. They're very widely spaced apart, but they have a nice look to them, all the way from the tip, all the way to the back here by the cargo bay. We roll it over onto its back here. We can see all of the shuttle bay area, all of that aztecing, and really everything here is done. Really proud about the shuttle bay too. I think it looks really cool. So as you can see, the whole kit is ready for phase one painting. Now this is the issue though. We have to work on the nacelles as well as the overall aztecing for the next phase. As you can see here on the nacelle, we have a lot of the fit issues where the nacelles reached in and mated with the pylons. This here is a huge seam we want to remove. I want to take my super glue, take care of that. Also around here, right around this area right there, we need to go ahead and take care of that, maybe with some super glue or maybe even some white glue. The whole fit is just poor. The pylons do not fit together very well, so we have to doctor all of that up. Also paint. I know I've been working very hard on the aztecing, but I've also come up with a little cheat sheet of gray paint. This is all the paint I currently own that will be beautiful for the Enterprise, all the gray colors. And I really think this is a good idea to do, especially when you have so many variations in one color that's required on a model. So we have our overall plans here, and we need 3 different colors. We have our light gray here by Vallejo. We have a darker gray by Gunzi. I think this is going to be a really cool contrast between these 2 grays. We have our silver gray, which is our basic base coat, and our top coat as well after we get everything masked. I think the combination of all 3 of these is going to be beautiful. Plus we have a nice little cheat sheet of all our grays, which we can just quick reference, pull what we needed to pull if we want to go ahead and work on any other colors. But I think for the most part, this is ready to go. Phase 1 is complete. So next we're going to have to hit phase 2 by painting the majority of the areas with this light gray color, because we're going to have light gray masks all up in this area here, around the saucer section, around the bridge area. And we flip this over here. Not here so much, but right around here, we're going to have some masking there. And of course the inner band as well, right in this area here. That's all going to be light gray aztecing. So we have silver gray already done. We have to paint for the light gray. Then we'll come on back and we'll aztec and we'll get this thing ready to go. Also, this whole nacelle section here, all this has to be masked off, and we need to paint all of this light gray as well, because light gray masking is very prominent on these warp engines. Also here, same thing, inner and outer, they have to match. So that's going to be a little hard getting that to match. Plus these seams have got to go. Not so much the main connecting points here and there, but definitely the seam running along the inside and the outside of the pylons. Those have got to go. So let's go ahead and work on that first. And I'm going to be using my super glue technique. I'm going to be dumping a bunch of super glue down into the seam, and we're going to get this all squared away. Once this dries and cures, we can sand it down, and hopefully the seam will just vanish. Now I'm going to have to repaint this anyway, so I'm not too concerned about how this is going to look, because all this is going to be light gray. And the light gray is going to be beautiful when we actually start masking it. We'll have some really cool color contrast. At least that's what I'm hoping we're going to have. You never know till you actually do it. Same thing with the other side of the nacelle. This pylon as well. We got to fill in this huge gap and make this look as flush and as smooth as possible. This is going to take a little while to dry, probably about a day or so. With all of that done, all of that masked and glued, we're going to leave that off to the side, let this dry. And I'm going to actually take a little break off camera. Now, it'll be very seamless, hopefully, for you guys. But for me, I'm going to give it about a day in between. So I'll let that dry, and then we'll be back and work on the main saucer section and engineering hull. We're going to be painting with some light gray. And I wanted those nacelles done first because those are going to be light gray too. It's no point in, doubling up my work. Might as well let that dry, assemble it back together again, and then hit the whole thing with light gray. This is all done. Phase 1 is complete. Phase 2 is about to begin. So I'll see you in a few. All right, everybody. So it's been about a day and a half later. Everything is ready to go. I've sanded this down. It's smooth. I love how it looks. Hopefully when I start getting this with some paint, it's going to look a lot better. And again, we have to do the light gray on these nacelles because that's just what the masking requires. Now, the main seams here along the underside and along the other edge here, I'm not going to worry about those. I mean, I have to redo most of the, connection points, and I'm just not into that right now. So we're going to set that aside. And we're going to go ahead and install these onto the engineering hull. And I'm probably going to leave these unglued. Kind of been toying with that idea. But again, we have our grays, we have our colors all set up. We're going to be using our light gray here, and we're going to just stick these nacelles back into the engineering hull, and then we're going to start painting. I really hope this goes out well. Again, I've never done anything like this before, so I'm a little nervous, but I think if I can pull this off, this will be probably one of my greatest projects I've ever completed. That's my plan. So let's go ahead and stick these nacelles into the engineering hull, get everything ready, and we're going to start painting with this light gray. And let's rock. All right, everybody. So we have our paint all dialed in, and we're running probably about a 3 parts thinner to 1 part paint ratio. I'm running my air compressor at about 12 psi, and it seems to be going on nicely. So we're going to work this light gray around the edge of the saucer. We're going to then cover the area where the bridge is, that kind of command bridge area. Then we're going to hit the nacelles, both the right and left side of both of the nacelles on both sides. And then we're going to hit the underside of the saucer as well. So we have to hit all the areas that are not masked. Those all have to be painted the light gray. Now, again, the reason I'm doing this is because the Enterprise has actually a few different colors of Aztec pattern. They have a silver gray color. They have a light gray color, then they have a dark gray color as well. So all of that has to kind of be represented as best as I can. So what we're going to be doing here is the light gray colored Aztecing. And hopefully when I go ahead and overcoat this, you should be able to see what I'm talking about when, I pull off all these masks. Can you imagine? I got to pull off all these masks too. Jeez, it's going to be crazy. But hopefully once I remove all these masks, we're going to have a very, very nice contrast between the silver gray, the light gray, and the dark gray, as well as just the overall look of the ship should be, hopefully, very cool. Again, we have to paint the underside of the saucer, and I'm going to be doing everything that's not masked light gray, except for the area right between the saucer and the engineering hull, because that's actually a decal. And again, you can go out and buy $30 versions of Aztec masks, and you can go buy decal kits. You can download a few Aztec decal kits online. I found a few there. But again, Enterprise E is very random, very haphazard in its Aztecing, so I'm trying to reproduce that as best as I can. I don't know until we actually pull off these masks if I'm even going to be successful, but I'm hoping that I will be, because this really is a cool process. It takes forever to do, but it is super fun. So we're going to continue along this section here, get the whole area of the deflector dish and the little torpedo bay area. Let's keep at it. All right, guys, we are done. I've run out of paint. I've hit all the areas that I need to go ahead and hit with the light gray. Now the last thing to do is let it dry. It looks kind of cool like this. I mean, I'm not going to leave it, but it's kind of neat, So we've got the light gray around here. We've got the silver gray Aztecing already done. The light gray will be next. I'm going to give this about maybe a day and a half to 2 days to go ahead and dry, and then we'll be back. And I'm going to then shoot the whole thing with silver gray. Same thing with the bottom here. Going to hit all this area with some Aztec masking, center section here, and right around the engineering hull, all the way back down to the pylons, and then of course the nacelles as well. So a lot of work to do. Super cool. Top section too. I mean, everything looks really, really nice with this color. I think it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful job. We're going to come on back, let this dry, and work all the way around the center section, then overcoat the whole thing with silver gray. This silver gray is super cool. I like how it looks. It's going to be beautiful. But I'm back with Sci-Fi Wednesdays. Hope you had a beautiful holiday season. We're coming up on episode number 7 here on the Enterprise, where we're actually going to start putting on some more paint. We're going to work on phase 3 of the Enterprise E. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We'll see you back here next week on Sci-Fi Wednesdays. Until then, guys, happy modeling. We'll see you soon.